And now, the general weather around Alaska.
The flood advisory continues here for the areas of the Kenai River downstream from Ski Lac Lake, again out through Sunday afternoon for areas of flooding. And for the Panhandle here, there's a flood watch out for the northern 3/4 of the area there for possible flooding due to the incoming heavy rains that are in the forecast. And from there, satellite imagery showing the clouds associated with that area of heavy rain now just starting to spread into the area there all along the North Gulf Coast, spreading rain, Prince William Sound into northern Cook Inlet, but drier conditions back down toward Kodiak Island and out to the west here. Some showers with areas of clouds over the interior, and another batch of clouds here coming onshore, bringing some rain from the Pribilofs up into the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta coastal areas there. St. Lawrence Island, a little bit in Norton Sound, and then the stronger system out here to the west, pushing rain and a little bit windier conditions in toward Adak and Atka there, and then yet another system there over toward Kamchatka Peninsula. On the chart today, there's roughly the location of this front out there west of the trough that's bringing the rain up into the west coast there, roughly in this conditions. A little bit tighter gradient there, but winds not all that significant over the central Aleutian areas, much lighter to the north. Light winds over all of interior Alaska today, starting to pick up here in the Gulf of Alaska and up toward the North Gulf Coast with this low pressure area here. Same thing along the coast of the Panhandle. And we'll see for tonight, that low pulls northward. There are storm warnings out for the eastern North Gulf Coast and the offshore areas of the Gulf of Alaska, and gale warnings for the remainder of the areas here into the coastal areas of the Panhandle, with rain becoming heavy at times later tonight toward tomorrow morning for the Panhandle. Same thing for the North Gulf Coast. Rain coming into mainly Prince William Sound and the Kenai Peninsula, and to a lesser extent into the Susitna Valley and Cook Inlet, but still increasing chances of rain. Dry over the eastern and central interior to the north slope and the Arctic coast. Rain here for the west coast areas, especially the Yukon Delta and Kuskokwim Delta coastal areas here. And this system spreading rain now into the Fox Islands and kind of wet conditions into the Alaska Peninsula. Tomorrow, that low continues to track east-southeast, so rain periods of here, pretty continuous with IFR flying conditions for the eastern Aleutians, right on up into the Alaska Peninsula and along the southwest coast here. A little bit of a more intermittent rain pattern over the Pribilof Islands and showers back here toward that trough. And in areas of rain or showers here all the way up to the Brooks Range. But for the north slope of the Arctic coast, light winds and dry conditions. Periods of rain for the south central Alaska area, North Gulf Coast, rain heavy at times, and rain occasionally heavy at times here for the southeast coast. And then for the day on Friday, high pressure kind of builds in here, drying it out somewhat, but it won't shut the showers off completely there for the Panhandle. Next system gathering strength here to the southeast of Kodiak Island, and that'll eventually swing on up to the northeast there for Friday night and Saturday. Otherwise, periods of rain, southern Alaska, scattered isolated showers north of the Brooks or north of the Alaska Range there for the upper Tanana Valley and 40 Mile Country. Areas of rain here continue for all of the western interior areas, and now we got moisture up over the North Slope, Brooks Range, out to the Arctic coast. Next system here developing over the central Aleutians, east central Aleutians, that low right near Atka Island at about 993 millibars for Friday afternoon. Warm front raids will spread into the eastern Aleutians with that system. And for the lows tonight, in the 30s and 40s here over interior Alaska, mid to upper 40s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, upper 40s to lower 50s for the southeast coast. Highs for tomorrow, 50s here over the interior, south of the Brooks Range, all the way down to Kodiak Island and Prince William Sound. 50s to lower 60s there for the Panhandle, and in the mid to upper 50s for the Aleutians, mid 40s for the Bering Strait area, and 40s for the Seward Peninsula, North Slope, Arctic coast. Some areas of the North Slope here might reach the lower 50s, and then back into the 30s to lower 40s here for the Friday morning lows over interior Alaska, in the 40s out over the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, and 45 to 50 for the southeast coast. And moving on to the highs for Friday afternoon. We've got 50s to lower 60s there for the Panhandle, Mid-50s over the eastern interior, falling into the lower 40s as you head out toward the Kobuk Valley, Kuskokwim Valley, and then upper 40s to near 50 out toward the coast, but chillier for St. Lawrence Island. Seward Peninsula in the 40s, North Slope, Arctic coast, basically in the lower to mid-40s, and in the mid-50s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, as well as the Alaska Peninsula.